if we go a little bit more into coping and how you view the world and thriving and how you view the world, a lot of times I see that people who are feeling like they are overwhelmed by external or internal stimulus fall into coping, and going to that root cause is, do you really feel that you are enough? Where's your core confidence built up to the point that you feel like you have to cope through life? Is the external stimulus or internal stimulus really that overwhelming? And if it is, then you need to dive deeper. Instead of coping to get through this consistent issue that you're running into, you need to switch to a more grounded core confidence in thriving, so that you can, not be stifled by the stimulus, realize that you are enough, and then move forward to resolve things. If you're stuck at the two and you're like, oh, I'm coping, wow, life is hard, this is hard, that's hard, poor me, then you're sending yourself into thought loops that will reinforce that. Oh, I have a problem today. All right, well, the problem hasn't been resolved. Problem-oriented thoughts. Oh, I haven't gotten up the solution. I'm a failure. No solution-oriented thoughts. I'm a failure. Oh, well, I tried to fix it last time and it came back. Oh, well, now I'm reinforcing I'm even more of a failure. And that dwelling is toxic. And at this point, you're poison dripping yourself. Now, there may be external things like social conditioning, which portrayed the image or portrayed the belief systems or identity that you've built up to resonate with coping. But all in all, it just reinforces more negativity, more stagnation. Whereas opposed, if you go into thriving a bit more and you're like, all right, well, I'm enough, okay. Core confidence, I'm confident. The same issue, but you're coming from a grounded place where you're not in that scarcity, you're in that abundance. Oh, wow. So when you go to tackle that issue, you're coming from a perspective of, okay, wow, I can see without all that judgment, all those thought loops, all that projection, that social conditioning comes in, but you can recognize it. Your default state is from thriving, from abundance. You've invested in yourself, shown yourself that self-love, and you know how you're supposed to feel. Your default is supposed to be that you're enjoying yourself. Your default is supposed to be that you're happy. So when that social conditioning or internal stimulus, external stimulus comes at you and you're going to get thrown into a reaction that would then spiral you into coping, you're like, oh, well, I don't usually feel like this. My usual state is abundance, it's thriving. So why am I having skewed perspectives of things that are throwing me into these thought loops of doubt and judgment? And because you have that self-awareness, you choose to thrive regardless of the situation because you are enough, you're grounded in that core confidence. Then you're like, okay, I recognize the social conditioning came at me, that internal, external stimulus came at me. Instead of falling into reaction and going into coping, I'm going to choose to be in a state of thriving and abundance. And then it's where it really starts to get fun. Because then you remember, this is your life's movie, your life's adventure. So when you then move forward, it's with ease and lightness. Although the obstacle still may be there, it's not greater than you. It does not define you. It's just there. But because you're thriving, you're like, all right, well, there's abundance. I'll make it through this. I have core confidence. And then you're setting yourself up for more winning. You've shut off all those negative thought loops that you would have been harboring before if you were coping. And you really define yourself without projecting your value based off of the circumstance, the issues that are going on. And even if you're not able to come up with a solution, you're going to the root cause and more objectively observing what's happening. You're not skewed filters like, misperception, judgment. You're like, all right, cool. Clarity. No filters. Abundance. Thriving. Am I solving it? I'm taking an L right here. I'm not solving the problem, but I'm still thriving. I'm not going to let the external delegate what my current state is.